Welcome to Daddy Cool Gaming, where we play our favorite role-playing games. Good day, everyone. I hope everyone's having a fantastic time. And today we bring you part 2 of our game, Tagalog versus Bisaya, where we try to answer in the eternal rivalry between these two groups, who is actually going to win. So if you remember last week's episode, in a work that is entirely fictional, the Philippines was engulfed in war sometime in the end of the 21st century. And from the ashes of the Philippines, two groups escaped: the Tagalogs and the Bisayas. And they settled in what is a fictional world. So if last week we saw the first steps of the establishment of two new societies, perhaps this week we shall see the first battles between these two former countrymen. Let's take a look at the two sides first. On the left, with the red shield, we have the Tagalogs, was taken up quite a bit of territory on the left. And on the right, we have the Bisayas, who has expanded their territory massively to the north and to the south of this map. So without further ado, let's play this game and see what happens. Already you see a flurry of activity with the Tagalogs. Remember, they are now a seafaring nation. They have a bunch of ports, while the Bisayas, I think, has one port. Yes, there you go. Has one port. But population-wise, the Tagalogs are trailing the Bisayas. So another change that we implemented is we changed the city names of the various settlements. For the Tagalogs, we will have New Manila, New Batangas, and New Bulacan. And for the Bisayas, we have New Cebu, New Davao, and New Cagayan de Oro. So as new settlements pop up, our goal is to rename these and change them into current members of the Tagalog and Bisaya subspecies of Filipinos. So let's take a look at what's happening. Once again, the Bisayas have expanded right up until the border between the two groups of people, and they have a good village, good settlement happening here in the area of New Davao. And they are slowly expanding to the south as well. You can see all the people walking around. While New Cebu is safe, of course, it's being protected by this massive mountain between the two peoples. New Cagayan de Oro is starting to grow as well, in size and in population. New Manila looks to expand. It's very stable here in its core, but they expanded the city northwards. Right now, there's no city being created to the north, but they have two cities, New Batangas and New Bulacan, which is growing in this tiny piece of land, very thin, narrow piece of land to the west of the map. So let's see what's going to happen. There's an almost 50-person difference. Wait, is that an army? Who is this? Oh, look at that! Look at the Visayas chasing the Tagalog with the banner. Okay, let's see what's going to happen. Then the armies. This is the army view. I don't think war has broken out yet. Kingdoms and the cities. And then you will see that the language of both sides, you'll have the Visayas, of course, speaking Bisaya, and the Tagalog speaking Tagalog. Wait, I think an invasion is happening. There is a Bisaya with a blue banner walking into the territory of the Tagalogs. So yes, a small army of Visayas are inside the territory of the Tagalogs. Okay, let's see what happens. Visayas now have an almost 80-person lead between them and the Tagalog. So let's see what's actually going to happen. I think we have the main army of the Tagalogs going into the territory of the Visayas. Where are they heading? They're heading somewhere into the mountain. There they are. What are they doing? So war has not broken out yet between the two groups, but let's see if the status quo will stay the same. Army view, kingdom view. Wow, look at the Visayas. They have expanded all over the north. Amazing. City view, new CDO. The Tagalogs have 3 armies now. The Bisayas have 2. There's definitely a limitation how much New Bulacan can grow because they're in such a narrow part of the map versus New Cagayan de Oro, which they have really taken advantage of their position, the north of the map. They have so much more room to expand, and let's see if the residents of New Cagayan de Oro will expand further to the north and take up the rest of that area. Even to the south of the map, you don't see New Davao and New Batangas in a hurry to expand all the way to the south. Looking at the kingdom view, you'll see that the Visayas have an almost 100-person lead against the Tagalogs. So if they really wanted to invade, they can actually invade now. Now I think it's a good time to, since the Visayas have created a new city in the territory in the southeast of the map, I think this is a good time to actually name that new city New Gensan. Of course, people in General Santos City, they also speak Bisaya. There you go. Let's play again once again. Let's see what happens. Oh my, I think there is a war happening now. Oh my. There is an icon showing in the Visayan portion, showing a sword and with arrows pointing towards the Tagalog territory with a shield. So I'm guessing that the Visayas are the attackers and the Tagalogs are defending for this battle. So before we look at the fight, let's look at the kingdom view once again. The Visayas have an almost 100-person lead versus Tagalogs. At the same time, they have 4 cities. Let's resume this battle and see what actually happens as the armies of the east head towards the territory of the west. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this, the massive army of the Tagalogs, 51-man army is heading. But the main force of the Visayas is all the way to the north. What are you guys doing there? Your territory in the south is getting manhandled by the Tagalogs. using bows and arrows against their Bisaya neighbors. With the massive Bisaya army, they're all over the north, but they're also attacking unopposed the settlements of the Tagalogs in the north. But now the city of New Davao is under siege from the Tagalogs. There is a very real danger that the Visayans... Oh, now look at that. The Tagalog forces are heading to meet the Visayan forces to the north. But the Tagalogs have taken New Davao. Oh my gosh, look at that. They have taken New Davao. Oh! Why was there a... Was that a meteor? So far, it doesn't look like the Visayans are mounting a good campaign against the Tagalogs. And it looks like the Visayan army is in full retreat. Look at the territory now. The Tagalogs already outnumber the Visayans by 100. The tides have turned. And now the Visayans only have 3 cities. New Davao has fallen entirely to the Tagalogs. And mind you, the Tagalogs are the defenders for this battle. The Tagalogs are continuing to siege the settlements, burn the settlements and attack them of the Visayas. A massive tactical error by the Visayas, who have also dwindled in number. What are they doing there? They had numerical superiority earlier. But New Cagayan de Oro has turned entirely to the Tagalog side. Oh my gosh, there are only 2 settlements left for the Visayas. New Cebu and New Gensan. The Visayan army is no more. They have only 1 soldier left. Oh my gosh, what a unfortunate turn of events for the Visayas. And now the Tagalogs are raiding New Cebu. Territory-wise, the entire territory of the Visayas. Oh my gosh, look at this. New Cebu is no more. New Cebu is now under the Tagalogs. Let's pause the game first and take a look. Now you only have New Gensan left. And even New Gensan is being raided by Tagalog ships. The Tagalog ships probably came from the formerly Bisaya ports. And you see the king of the Visayas was slain by the Tagalogs. Mind you, this is a war the Visayas started, but due to their lack of tactical awareness and just bad luck, it seems the Tagalogs now control 90% of the map. Army-wise, the Visayas don't even have an army left. Tagalogs have 6 armies. So now the Tagalogs are doing the consolidating in a territory that previously belonged to the Visayas. Like, oh guys, even if you expand here, how are you gonna beat this map? Taking a look at the former New Davao, it looks like they're rebuilding. And they're celebrating for some reason. Maybe they're celebrating the fact that peace has returned to their land, as well as in New Cebu. Everyone looks like they're celebrating. New Cagayan de Oro has parties as well. Let's look at the lands of the Tagalogs to see. Yes, I think they're partying as well. I think they're celebrating. Everyone's celebrating the fact that they won the battle. And as you can see, New Manila now has... Well, no, sorry. New Cebu still has the numerical superiority over New Manila. Can you imagine if the Visayas only had sent their large army to meet the large army of the Tagalogs? This map would look entirely different than it does now. New Cebu outnumbers New Manila. New Davao outnumbers New Batangas. New CDO outnumbers New Bulacan. So they did have the numerical superiority earlier. And now the Visayans are just limited to New Jensan. Crushing turn of events. As we saw last week, the two people, after suffering from the Great War in the Philippines, the fictional Great War in the Philippines, rebuilt their societies in this new land. But now it seems that fate has chosen that only one of these people will actually thrive in this land. The Tagalogs with over 450 citizens and the Visayas with 13 left. It's not even the 20 that we started this game with. If you remember, both sides had 20 citizens. As you can see, there is a natural disasters in this game as well. That was a meteor. Did not hit anything except the sea. Thankfully, there was no tsunami that followed. I don't know why this battle sign is still going on. Maybe the Visayans should ask for a ceasefire from the Tagalogs so as not to be attacked again. But so far, it seems like the Tagalogs have no interest in attacking the territory or what's left of the Visayas. What a turn of events. And I think this is as good a time as any to pause the game. And for next week's episode, let's see if the Tagalogs are able to maintain their domination over this new land, or somehow will the Visayas launch an unlikely counterattack to retake lost land.